Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Wilson with my good friend and co host, Adrian Wright, and this is
The Supernatural and Beyond.
And we're here with our very special guest, Mr. Nas from Cameroon, West Africa.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Tony. Thank you.
I was really excited and even more excited now that I've begun to hear some of your story. So I was just wondering, what was the motivation to come from Cameroon to the United States?
Thank you, Mr. Tony. That's actually a very good question. It's very important to know that before, when I was still living back in Cameroon with my mom, I really had no motivation to come in here. But then my mom was very essential for her to come into the United States of America. So she left me when I was 13 years old back then in Cameroon. So from 13 years old to 21 years old, I would spend all of those years without being close to my mother. And one of the main motivations why I wanted to come was first to see my mother because I missed her so much. So my sister, my older sister, is the one who made all the preparations with the passports and all of that for us to be able to come to America. We came 5 of us, 2 my sisters and 2 my nephews and I. But it was mostly to see my mom because we've not seen her for such a long time and we're just hearing her through the phone. Because of that missing aspect, I desired to really come here and see her. That was the main motivation for my trip to America.
So you mentioned some brothers and sisters and some other relatives.
Yes.
So in your immediate family, okay, you mentioned your mother. Is your father around?
Yes, my father right now is back in Cameroon, but he got married to another wife.
Oh, okay, that happens.
So he was separated with my mother, so my mother had to leave. So I remained in Cameroon, staying with my older sister, and she's the third born of my mom. So she decided that we were gonna come see our mother, but it's not very easy when you're taking a trip from Africa to America. It requires a lot of money. Yeah, documentation, getting the visa at the embassy. It's a lot of paperwork. But by the grace of God, she was able to pull it through for us. So I traveled on that plane, my sister and I, and the oldest, the one I follow. So with 2 sisters, and 2 nephews.
And that's 5.
That's 5.
Wow.
So even getting the visas at the embassy, that was a miracle. So we were able to get the visas and board the plane to come here. We came here 2014, July 2014.
Wow. Wow. So was that your first time on an airplane, like when you flew from Cameroon out here, or?
Actually, it wasn't my first time.
Okay, so you had traveled before,
yes,
like
before.
through Africa, through Cameroon?
Exactly. Yes, I went to Nairobi.
Okay.
And when also traveling to the economic capital, I usually board a plane to go there.
Oh,
so
good.
it wasn't really my first time. Yeah, traveling. But traveling from an international border, that was my first time.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. That's pretty big. So Cameroon is big enough to have like flights within the country, right? It's not some small country. It's a big nation.
It's very big. Yeah, it's very big.
So you Nairobi, that's another part of Africa, or that's part of Cameroon?
Nairobi is Kenya, actually.
Kenya,
If you want to
okay.
talk about Kenya, that's Nairobi. That's an African country as well. Yeah, mostly going to East Africa, towards the side there.
I want to just jump in here for a second. I was working with a ministry where the pastor was from Kenya. So now you said Kenya, Nairobi. What was there a name change, a regime change, or?
Actually, Kenya is found in Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah, we just use Nairobi because that's everybody understands it. Like on the map, that's where Nairobi is, but you have Kenya in Nairobi there.
Okay, so Kenya is a city.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I didn't know that. Okay, learn something new every day.
Yes.
African Geology 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying here.
So when you came to America, you're coming to visit your mom. So you were happy in Cameroon. Like you were just like, whatever, I'm going to go to America, visit my mom, see what's up. What did you think about America when you first got here? Did you come to Los Angeles first? Did you go to another city?
Well, okay, I'm going to say this because for the viewers, looking at America from the TV is very different from when you physically come in here. So, because the ideas I had when I was gonna come to America, I was like, I'm gonna really go down into Hollywood, meet all these stars. I'm gonna try and be friends with them. But it wasn't really the way I really envisaged it in my mind. But then when we got here, we first landed in Atlanta
Ah,
because that's where we were first. We have family over there, so they received us there in Atlanta, and we spent like 2 months in Atlanta before coming down here to California because this is where my mom was. So from the first impression, Atlanta was very nice. You know, we were very excited that we're in America, and we were just really looking forward to spending more days. And even the trip coming to see my mom here in California was very exciting. And so when we got to California, it was really cool, but the weather, it was hot. It was the summertime. And for some reason, the sun felt much more hotter than it was back in Cameroon. So that really bothered us. But apart from that, it was very a promising experience. It was great.
Now, Atlanta, because I was born in Atlanta, so I kind of know, and I visit every once in a while. But it's the culture in America is kind of different wherever you're at. So like if you're in the southeastern United States, it's different from Southern California, and even the weather's different. So like when you're in Atlanta, for instance, the people have an accent different from you know the people in California, which they say we don't really have an accent, but depending on where you grew up, everybody has some kind of accent, you know. So did you notice that change? What did you think of like the LA Atlanta difference?
Well, it was in Atlanta, first of all, it was kind of hard for me to pick up on the accent of the Americans because they usually talk really fast, and I was used to the British way of talking where they articulate words and it's mostly smooth, step by step in the words. But here it was kind of really fast. So I was always like, what did you say? Can you? So I was really putting out myself that I was really not from America at all. But after, when I started going to school here, I started picking up a little bit on understanding really how they're speaking and the difference between the American system of English and the British system of English. So the accent was a problem, but after it became really awesome for me to understand. Yeah.
So there's different weather too. So if you went to Atlanta and it was summertime, it was like hot and humid, and there's like thunder showers, and there's like rain, and it's hot and kind of sticky, and you sweat a lot. And then when you come out here to LA, it's that dry heat. Like it's like walking into an oven.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you walk outside. So compared to Cameroon, do they have like the kind of climate like Atlanta has where it rains quite frequently? It's like sticky, or is it like a dry heat? Like
Right, I see. Well, Cameroon, the seasons are very different from that of United States of America because here we have the winter, spring, fall, and then the summer. But there, actually, it's just 2 seasons. We have the dry season, where it's very, very dusty, and we have the rainy season where it's very muddy. Now, in the dry season, that's when it's sunny, like the summer here, and there you always have to like have like a handkerchief because dust is blowing from everywhere, and because most of the roads were undergoing under construction. So if you're working on let's say a road which does not have tar on it, sure you're gonna get dust on you. So the difference is that there's not much dust here as compared to there when it's in the dry season, and there is not as much mud here than it is there when it comes to the rainy season. Here you can still be clean whether rainy or sunny, but there you really have to take precautions because the mud can really mess you up for the good. But it's just dry and rainy season we have in Cameroon. Those are the only seasons we have, so very different from here. Now the sun here in California, I would say, is very hot compared to in Cameroon. So, well, it sounds strange that we come from the African places, but I never felt like a heat there like we feel it here. So
So I got a real quick question before we close out.
Sure.
I was just gonna ask, like, out of the weather systems, where would you prefer? Like, if you could live anywhere in the world, or anywhere between Cameroon, Atlanta, Los Angeles, which has the best weather?
I would say that's really a tough question, but
Your favorite?
I'm really coming to really loving America, United States of America, and really I love staying here. I would say the weather is really good for me. Yeah, I got really.
So Los Angeles.
Yeah, Los Angeles is good. I got adapted to it, so
just gotta clarify that. Yeah. All right. So Naz, we want to thank you again for joining us here, for being our very special guest on the Supernatural and Beyond. And to our viewers, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, subscribe for more videos.